See the 10 cents? That's all it costs to phone long distance in Canada evenings and weekends. Now cover your left eye. See the $20? That's the most you'll pay with our new monthly maximum. But as a first-rate customer, you already have it, which means you have 20/20 foresight. Don't have first rate? Give us a call. Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter.
Football's here, so bet on Proline.
Eat, sleep, sports!
One turn for the worse. Split-second reaction. 180 degrees from nowhere. 4 days overdue. And 3 months recovery equals 1 score to be settled. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
At Wendy's, order a quarter-pound single combo and you get a hot and juicy hamburger made fresh right when you order it. A medium soft drink and a big order of Biggie fries, all for just $3.99 every day.
At Wendy's, you don't pay more, you just get more.
It's Toyota's sharpest deals in town. Time to get a razor-sharp deal on RAV4 with a lease of just $249 a month. Or get 3.8% financing on RAV4 or 4Runner. Cut out in a 4Runner for a lease of $399 a month, plus a whole lot of other sharp Toyota deals. Hurry, your Toyota dealer won't be sharpening deals to this point for very long.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 out of 3.
It's a great color. You're gonna love it.
Okay, pick a straw.
Top quality beauty tone paint from Home Hardware comes with a no-quibble guarantee.
Heads or tails?
And Home Hardware has more than 1,000 exciting colors, so the hardest part is choosing one.
It's durable and it looks great.
Home Hardware, held as close to home.
Okay, it looks great, but I get to pick the colors for the doghouse.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter.
Well, welcome back to Neverwin Stadium, where the Toronto Argonauts are down by 2 to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. All the scoring done by virtue of field goals. Ozzy Osbaldiston hitting on 2, and Eric Bigos 1 for the Toronto Argonauts. Well, you know, one of the greatest stories developing in the CFL this season has to be the resurgence of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They finished last year 2-16. This year at the halfway point, already 7-2. But as Mark Lee reports, it's been a hard, long road back to respectability.
The celebrations reflect a bygone era when everything was right with the Tiger Cats. If this team is to be believed, that time has come again.
The turnaround this year is just amazing.
Really fun to play. Really fun to walk down the street.
I hear people talking about Hamilton. They're wearing ball caps.
Fun time in Hamilton this year.
Half-time in the bowels of Neverwin Stadium. Look for yourself. There's a new spirit in this old stadium. New fans, new hope in a city that not that long ago had all but given up its team for dead. It's an about-face from last season, the sorriest on record. No Tiger Cat team had ever lost 16 games before. The loyalty of Hamilton fans had reached a breaking point. A losing attitude crept into the dressing room, and proud players suffered.
Everything went against us last year, you know, and it was such a fine line between winning and losing.
Big Mike Philbrick was ready to quit, but he was persuaded to come back just before the first game.
Yeah, I had a real bad taste in my mouth last year. 2-16 was a real tough year to go through. I still didn't have that out of my system yet.
Then a glimmer of hope. The Cats had lured Ron Lancaster to be their coach, and with him the cornerstone of the Edmonton offense, quarterback Danny McManus, and his favorite target, Darren Flutie.
Coaching is the biggest difference. We really picked it up on the offensive side of the ball, so it's really showing through in our defense.
Winning was infectious, losing no longer acceptable to Joe Montford or anyone else.
From day one, you know, Ron said, this is the system, Whoever want to buy into it, whoever don't, you can leave.
I think it's the attitude that Ron brought to the club. I mean, his knowledge of the game and his total attitude.
A new generation of fan is evident this year, joining the diehards who've been held at ransom over the past decade by threats of the Cats' financial collapse.
I've always said the Hamilton fans here are great football fans because they understand the game of football.
I see a lot of new young faces. We have a lot of older fans here, but I'm starting to see the 18, 19, 12, and 13-year-old kids getting involved.
And there's no more begging for fans, no TV gimmicks. The Cats now have something to sell.
We changed some marketing concepts and went aggressively after the marketplace. We certainly got what I think is the best coach around in Ron Lancaster.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You have to win games. People come to see winners.
The season ticket base, or our base, has to get a little bit higher, or about 10.5. We've got to get it to 15. And again, these are all financial reasons that gets us out of the woods. And when we can do that and get that nice balance, then we're starting to cook. And we're very close to starting to cook.
And more than just one person credits Ron Lancaster with bringing the pride back to the Hamilton Tiger Cats and instant credibility, which of course Lancaster brings no matter where he goes. We're coming to you live from beautiful downtown Hamilton, where the hometown Ticats are leading by 2 points over Toronto.
Do you savor those extra 10 minutes of sleep every morning? Well, sleep in, because there's someone already making breakfast for you. Did somebody say McDonald's?
That's right. It's Toyota's sharpest deals in town. With sharp deals on Camry, the car that Car and Driver magazine says is a benchmark for all mid-price sedans. For a lease payment of only $278 a month, you can look sharp in a 98 Camry, or choose 3.8% no-limit financing. Hurry to your local Toyota dealer today before these sharp deals disappear.
And we as farmers have tried to put nature back into nature.
What makes a perfect egg? That's the perfect egg. On our farm, they're all perfect.
I like scrambled eggs and omelets.
This is how I scramble my eggs.
What's good for you in an egg is, I don't know, everything.
Eggs are excellent. Eggs are good for you.
It's all natural.
We take from the land, we put back into the land, and
nature's perfect eggs. It's from our farm.
Eggs, goody goodness.
It's time again for Toyota's sharpest deals in town, where you'll find incredibly sharp deals on the Ontario-built 98 Corolla, the car that Consumers Digest named a Best Buy. For a lease of just $222 a month, Corolla is well equipped with air conditioning and automatic transmission. But hurry, your Toyota dealers won't be cutting deals like this for long.
Die-hard fans at Neverwin Stadium sold out, enjoying a 2-point Tiger Cat lead at the half over the dreaded Argonauts at 6-4 Hamilton after one half of football. Well, the Commonwealth Games return to CBC television beginning this Friday night with the opening ceremonies from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's the first time these friendly games have ever been held in Asia. Our host for the broadcast, Ron McLean, is already there and sends this preview.
Our clean neon lights, modern architecture. You'll also find rainforest, fauna and flora, and mosques. You know, in fact, it was in 1930 that Hamilton held the first ever Commonwealth Games. Bobby Robinson, the editor of the Hamilton Spectator, fought valiantly to bring the games, then known as the Empire Games, to Hamilton, and he and the folks in Hamilton started a pretty good thing. 68 years later, for the first time ever, the games will be held here in Asia in Kuala Lumpur, KL as it's known. We are here in Chinatown in the Chinese market, which is usually a little busier than it is right now. We've just had a heavy thunderstorm clear out most of the folks for the time being, but you'll have a great sense of diversity here. You have India, you have Chinese, you have the Malays in this colonial British setting. It's incredibly diverse. 6,000 athletes from 69 countries set to convene. There are 18 sports. Canada's in every one of them. Team sports for the first time. Friday night, 7 o'clock, 7:30 in Newfoundland. We'll kick it all off, introduce you to Kuala Lumpur and to the athletes with our opening ceremony coverage. For now, Mark Lee, I know you're getting ready for the big flight tomorrow. Back to you in Hamilton in the CFL on CBC.
Can't wait for the big flight. Apparently it takes you something like 30 hours to get to the other side of the earth, 12 time zones away in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Can't wait to get there. What do you want me to bring you back? T-shirt, a keychain?
If they got T-shirts that'll fit me, please bring me some of that.
All right, let's look at the first half of this football game. Not a touchdown yet to be scored in a 6-4 Hamilton Tiger Cat lead over the Toronto Argonauts. How about the rookie kicker, Arik Bigos, who was 8 for 8 coming into this game, only 1 for 4 in the first half?
Well, I was wondering what was going to happen when he missed the first one, how his mental approach was going to be affected. And, you know, he hit the post, then he missed another one heavy to the left, and the last one he got blocked by Gerald Vaughn on an attempt. So he's really fighting it right now. He's going to be in the locker room sitting by himself with a towel over his head, probably trying to figure out how he can straighten out that kicking swing.
On the other hand, Archie Amerson has had a pretty good first half. Had the 55-yard kickoff return, then had the fumble, which killed what looked like a promising Cat drive late in the half.
Well, that's a big one. I mean, but the thing that I really like is that they're getting some breaks. Both teams are moving it a little bit. They're not bending on or breaking on defense, but there are some big plays.
We talked a bit about the old quarterback rivalry, Kerwin Bell of the Argos and Danny McManus of the Tiger Cats. Here's how they fared in the first half. 177 yards from Bell, 16 of 24, only 119 from Danny McManus, and neither man really building much continuity on offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, that number 119 is kind of misleading because he has 2 completions, one to Amerson and one to Flutie, that were fumbled after runs, so he would probably have a little bit more passing yardage had it been not for those 2 fumbles.
Let's revisit your game notes from the beginning of this one and see how the teams have fared in terms of what you thought were keys to this football game.
Well, I think on Hamilton, especially for running the ball, when they lost Ronald Williams with a torn quadricep muscle, that kind of does take the running threat out of the game. But in a weird way, it's kind of helped Hamilton because what they've done now is they've actually thrown more now. They've got the 6-pack of receivers. So for them, they are really doing a good job there. On defense, Hamilton's, they've only got 4 points. They're doing a way better job, except for the one catch by Nigel Williams, of staying with their man, jamming him, and keeping him on the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Ticat defense has certainly kept that Argo offense out of the end zone, and I can't help but think about that great goal line stand when the Argos were first and goal from the 1-yard line and couldn't put it in.
Well, that's a big play. I mean, here's the field goal right now. Let's take a look at this right here. You can see Gerald Vaughn in the middle of your screen gets a big paw up there. It was probably going. It probably would have made it, but just by the fact of hitting that with his hand slows it down enough that it comes down short.
There's the Amerson run back waiting for his gap. Got some good blocks, and he was off to the races. 55 yards on this one, but as we mentioned earlier in the half, his fumble recovered by the Argonauts was costly, killing what looked like a threatening drive because they had the ball down on the Toronto 35.
Yeah, that was big, and here's a big play for Toronto offensively first half. Bell is looking to the right. He's looking the safety off. He talked about that in the game, in the pregame, and goes way left side. Nigel Williams, the safety, is totally vacated, wide open, makes a nice catch, and Hitchcock comes over later to make the tackle.
Williams' first big catch as the Argos finally got some stretch on the Ticat defense. It's 6-4, Hamilton over Toronto after one half.
I hear the working woman in the suit so smart, the girl who wants it just to break his heart. Sparkling earrings, a string of pearls, just kicking back, one of the girls. 3-button coats, ribbons and bows. Everyone's asking where'd you get those clothes. I like your style, call it versatile. Baby, you're just like me. See the softer side of Sears.
It was harvest time when a terrible accident changed John Paul's life forever. He was playing near a grain auger and fell onto the moving blades. Both his arms were severed. John Paul and other War Amps champs who have lost arms and legs in accidents appear on parade floats and television with a kids-to-kids warning.
Don't let it happen to you. Play safe.
Please call the War Amps about the materials available through the Play Safe program.
Play safe.
When you need a sealant that's got to stick, Mono Ultra does the trick. Mono Ultra. When it calls for the best, the choice is clear. There won't be anything like it for years. Mono Ultra. It works in the sun. It works in your shower. You wash up with water and make it an hour. Whatever the kitchen surface, nothing sticks rise to the job like Mono Ultra, and it's mildew-proof in the bathroom. Mono Ultra! Get the Mono!
There's so much happening in Toronto now, but at night, it's a totally different kind of beauty. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, anything that you could possibly want, you can find it here. You have clubs, jazz lounges. I saw the ballet going on, the theater going on. Great bands all the time. Everything is on. It's lit up, like lit right up. Hold on. I love the city. I love Toronto.
Football doesn't come much tougher than a game of Neverwin, and right now neither team able to score a touchdown. The Cats leading the Argos 6-4, and Hamilton, their diehards present here today, will kick off, electing to take the wind in the fourth quarter.
And the nice thing, Mark, is that you look at the last time these two teams met in that 42-6 rout, they were down 20-6 at halftime. This time Hamilton's got the lead, 6-4.
The complexion of this football game quite different from the one 2 weeks ago, as Steve Smith takes this punt at his kickoff at the 18. Sidesteps some tackles, finally gets some real estate and pulled down at the Toronto 42-yard line. How about the first half story? And look at the first down. The Argos all over Hamilton, 12-5. Rushing, though, non-existent in this football game.
Well, neither team is rushing, and I think Pinball Clemens has got 9 yards on 4 carries. But the big thing here is the passing yards. They are 177 to 126, but as I mentioned at halftime, had those 2 fumbles by Flutie and Amerson not happened, they'd be pretty equal right now in the passing department.
Manis had about 150-yard average in his last 2 games. He's up to 119, so faring much better than 2 weak performances the last 2 times out. There's a dump pass, and Frank West is all over Daryl Mitchell.
Well, their defensive scheme is nice. What they're doing is they're playing man-to-man, and they're playing off, and they got a guy sitting in the hole right there, just trying to play where Mitchell's sitting. So watch, he goes down, he catches the ball, he comes inside, he's going to find his hole. He sees the ball comes to him, but there's Frank West closing right now. Bam.
Cats showing zone defense on that one. They admitted they were confused when they were in man defense and the crossing patterns that killed them in that big loss a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they were putting a safety in the bind, and Kerwin Bell's very good at that right now.
Second and long, Bell. Screen pass to Mike Clemens. Finally gets free just over the first down marker at the 51 before Calvin Tiggle puts the stop on him.
And a nice change of pace. You're throwing the ball downfield a lot. What better way to come back but a little screen pass? You know the defensive linemen are going to be in your face. They're trying to get to you. Little dump pass to Pinball. Let him do what he does best, which is scat back. Take a look up here. They're all going to be rushing up there right now. Just a little hitch pass. Just throws it out there. Let Pinball do the rest. Does a nice job getting the first down.
First down, Argos at their own 53-yard line. Bell in the shotgun. Deep down the middle, Nigel Williams, and it's picked off. Orlando Steinauer has the ball for Hamilton.
Now that is pure athletic ability. Broke on the ball, running down, stride for stride. Nigel Williams thinks he's going to make the catch. Orlando snaps it away from it the last second, makes a great interception, kills the Toronto drive.
Orlando Steinauer with a league-leading 5th interception.
Let's take a look right here. They're going down the left side of the screen right now. He's trying to look the safety off again. Throws it right there, and Steinauer does a great job of coming across. Makes a nice interception, and just to add measure, Hitchcock gives him a little shot.
First down, Danny McManus and the Cats at the 36 of Hamilton. Over the middle. This is Andrew Grigg with a move, and he'll be close to a first down. Good performance after the catch for the Canadian Grigg.
Well, we talked about the halftime stats of Danny Mack versus Kerwin Bell, but I think the big stat was probably the second quarter. I think that's when Danny started to get on track. He really had a kind of a cold first quarter. Second, they started going to a 5-pack and a 6-pack of receivers, and he seems to be way more relaxed in his picking his receivers. He's finding open receivers, and he's getting the ball to them.
Ron Lancaster has said he's always hesitant to take McManus out of a game when he's having a tough time, because he can turn just like that and get suddenly hot and win a football game. We've seen that on countless occasions, especially when he won the Grey Cup with the BC Lions.
Almost definitely. And right now the defense is giving him opportunities to move the ball. They're patient, but he's responding by moving the ball around to different receivers and getting them good field position.
Of course, Danny was joking the other day. He says, you know, Ron knows where I come from in terms of interceptions because he still holds the all-time record for picks.
Well, it's always nice to know your coach is throwing more than you have.
Second and inches. Quarterback sneak. McManus looks like he'll have enough for a first down. It is a Hamilton first down. Confidence early in the second half, obviously building for this offensive unit, as Lancaster says. You've got to get a couple of first downs before you start feeling good about yourself and get some momentum, get some rhythm, and start setting up plays. You can't set something up if you're 2 and out.
And you know the nice thing that we talked about, being down 20-6 last game at halftime, what was said in the locker room? What did the coaches say? Now this time, Don Matthews only being down by 2 points, still not a situation he's used to.
Defensive battle here in the Labor Day Classic. Don't forget game 2 coming up right after this one. Stampeders and Eskimos from McMahon and Calgary. Another completion for McManus over the middle. Bobby Olive has the catch, and Billy Wiltshire finally stands him up after a gain of about 6 yards.
Boy, I tell you what, it's almost like they're taking plays out of the Toronto playbook. They're sending the 2 wide receivers deep, taking the corner and a halfback, and just trailing Griggs right across the middle, almost Alan Mitchell, what Toronto does, and they're getting success with it.
Bobby Olive with a 4.6 40 is perhaps the fastest receiver in this Hamilton offense. McManus admits he'd like to have more speed, but he says, I've got a smart group here. They run disciplined pass routes, and I'll take that.
Well, that counts. I mean, you can't have a guy running anywhere without knowing where he's going.
2nd and 3. McManus in the shotgun. He's got Morreale with a first down out of bounds. Fakir Brown, the rookie from Grambling, takes him out over the 50.
And a nice throw by Danny Mack, throwing the ball where only Morreale can catch it. Fakir Brown is all over him. Just take a look at him. He's looking at him right now. He wants that. There he throws the ball. Nobody else can get that ball. It's in a situation where Fakir Brown is in a trail position.
The 6'3" Morreale out of McMaster University, having a stellar 4th season in the CFL. Another first down for the Tiger Cats, and this is when McManus gets dangerous. He's on a roll. And he has time. Again, this one intended for Morreale, but knocked down by Clifton Abraham, the rookie out of Florida State.
Well, Danny got a little lucky there because he was looking at Morreale all the way, and the defensive back, the cornerback on that play, left his man and came over to make the play and almost intercepted the ball. You can see him coming. There's Abraham's coming across.
Great backhanded tip by Abraham, making it 2nd and 10, Hamilton, the Toronto 47. Flag on the play, and it looks like the Cats will be called for procedure.
It's probably a time count violation.
Time count violation. Hamilton, number 14, 2nd down.
So McManus taking too much time putting the ball into play. They'll go back 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 15.
And one of the things that Toronto's is trying to do is they're lining everybody up here. This is what they had success with last time in Toronto, and then dropping, trying to confuse Danny McManus as to how many people they're actually bringing.
Mike O'Shea showing blitz there, then he dropped off into coverage at the middle linebacker spot. 15 yards to go for a first down. There's Morreale. He's close. He's stacked up and takes a beating. He dumps it off to Olive. Olive has the ball at the 20, the 15, the 10. Bobby Olive. Touchdown, Hamilton. The first touchdown of this Labor Day Classic on a shrewd pitch from Mike Morreale.
Well, I tell you what, for a 4th-year guy in this league, this is heads up. Not only does he make a great catch over the opposite shoulder, but then he fights 3 guys and still has the presence of mind to lateral the ball to Bobby Olive, sees him, and it results in 7 points. Just a heads-up play.
Well, he had 2 Argos on him and still had the strength to make the pitch to Bobby Olive, who just about stepped out of bounds and went down the sideline for the Hamilton touchdown. It's the Tiger Cats ahead of the Argos, 13-4 in the third quarter.
Be part of Bud's big Super Bowl event. No purchase necessary. Must be legal drinking age.
Come on, let's go. Let's harder. Yeah, you can do it. Come on.
It's a big game. Be part of Bud's big Super Bowl event. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
I'm Elsie, and I'm an Eggman.
Welcome to Cape Breton. Our whole family actually worked on the farm since we were little tots.
My Opa started this farm.
My name is John Eiking, and I'm an egg farmer.
He enjoys farming, and in turn, I think he passed it down to us.
Family-wise, it's great. Some grandchildren are already interested in it.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of work around here.
Our children, in a way, learn to farm in a play way, you know.
This is a portrait of my sister.
We're a team. We're a team.
Eggs, grade A goodness.
My brakes are... Brake problems? Right now, Pano PST and GST and all brake work, backed by Speedy's famous guarantee.
Speedy makes me feel like Svarbus Schmokus.
Like a somebody.
Whatever.
The king of the jungle is arriving. Call your friends for the incredible story of George of the Jungle on the season premiere of The Wonderful World of Disney, Sunday, September 27th on CBC.
Bobby Olive still savoring the most spectacular play of this Labor Day Classic so far. The pitch and go from Morreale to Olive for the Hamilton touchdown. With Paulus Baldiston's convert, it's 13-4 Tiger Cats. The pinball is deep with Steve Smith to receive this kickoff from Paulus Baldiston. Knuckleballer taken by Smith at his 23. Fakes the reverse to pinball. Up through the center field line. Sidesteps one tackle and finally drilled shy of the 40-yard line. Cooper Harris with the tackle, a 51-yard kickoff and a 16-yard return by Steve Smith.
Well, here we have the convert. You can just see it right now. Paul Osbaldson puts it through for the extra point, making a score of 13. But let's take a look at this. Bobby Olive, if we can just freeze it right there, and if you take a look, his foot is definitely out of bounds right there. You know, you got to be good to be lucky, but you need a couple breaks once in a while, and Mark, I believe they got a break.
Well, the Argos were complaining after the referee signaled touchdown that Olive had stepped out of bounds, and that verifies it. A break for the Cats. The give is to the pinball. He bobs and weaves for about 5 yards. An update from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Mark McGuire's next at bat, a single down the left field line, and so his home run count remains at 61 after he hit his historic mark earlier in this game in his first at bat to tie Roger Maris. The Grim Reaper in Hamilton, saying the end is near for the Argos. It's close, 13-14. Hamilton in front. The Argos get to score a major. Kerwin Bell remaining at quarterback in the shotgun. Has time, throws to the wide side of the field. It's wobbly and short as he throws off his back foot.
That's the first thing I just noticed myself, Mark. He has not thrown the ball with as much authority as he did the last couple times we've seen him play. Right now, I don't know if it's the pressure or the fact that they're behind, but right now he's forcing some situations and he's forcing some throws. That one was lucky enough that didn't get picked off as well. You can see him right now. He's dropping back, checking it out. He wants to throw to the left. You can see he's looking, but the pressure, he just doesn't seem comfortable.
The Cats. Sorry, Chris.
We talked about Danny Mac finding a rhythm. Danny Mac seems to have found a rhythm. It looks like Kerwin Bell is starting to lose his rhythm.
Bell sporting a bandage on his chin, looked like that from an earlier shot. And a deep pump from Prefontaine, sending Olive backpedaling to his goal line. Now Orlando Steinauer. The ball hits the goalpost, pops back out. There are flags on the play as John Raposo recovers it at the 2-yard line of the Tiger Cats. We'll decipher the flag on that one when we come back to Hamilton.
The kids wanted to go out for some Mexican food. You decided to take them someplace really authentic. Finally, A minivan built for drivers. 180 horsepower V6, standard 4-wheel ABS, traction control. The Pontiac Transport.
It's the way we welcome the sun, with 35 sunblock. The way some of the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to take better care of themselves. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to go for a swim. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
You've never seen anything like it, and it's headed for Canadian Tire. More selection, more parts for more makes and models of cars and light trucks, more quality brand names like Certified Brakes, Monroe Shocks, and TRW suspension parts. So now, you'll get the right parts when you need them at guaranteed low prices. Canadian Tire, Canada's auto parts store.
Welcome back to sold-out Neverwin Stadium in Hamilton, where the hometown Cats are in front 13-4. We've seen some unusual plays in this one, and here's another.
Well, you know what? The Labor Day gives you everything. Here you got a pass, end of half. Flutie decides to catch it. What? No, then he punts it. Only in the Canadian Football League can you get this kind of excitement. I mean, he tried to kick in the end zone for a single point. Smart move. Then you got another play. Mike Morielli, great catch. Now he's not going to kick it this time. What's he going to do? He's going to pitch it. Another adaptation. This one results in a touchdown. We've seen it all today.
Cats pulling out their bag of tricks on the punt. The ball bounced off the goalpost, and the Cats were pinned on their own too, but John Raposo was called for no yards, a 15-yard penalty, and some breathing space for Hamilton. Danny McManus looks right, then goes left. There's a flag on the play, and it looks like the Cats are going to be called for a holding behind the play.
And that is indeed the call, Mark.
Dave Hack, number 68, the second-year man out of Maryland.
Well, we haven't mentioned Demetrius Maxey at all today, but on that occasion, Dave Hack...
Holding. Hamilton, number 64. Penalties declined. Second down.
Was attempting to block him, and they had to put an old clamp on the jersey there.
There's Demetrius Maxey, who gave Danny McManus fits in that 42-6 drubbing 2 weeks ago at the Skydome, but he has not been a factor in this game so far. The retooled Hamilton offensive line
has done an excellent job today of giving Danny time.
Here's the official attendance for this game here at Neverwin, 30,065. 30,065 beyond capacity for this Labor Day Classic. Across the middle, Darren Flutie stretching out in traffic before Lester Brown drills him, and he can't hold on.
Nice job again by the offensive line of Hamilton to hold him out, give Danny option to check off 3 receivers. Finally sees Darren Flutie coming across the middle. He's looking to the right. He throws right down the middle here. Darren Flutie is trying to get it, stretches out. And
it was Lester Smith, though. He heard footsteps.
Well, he heard footsteps. He also knew that if he would have caught this, I think Lester Smith would have buried him. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see that coming right there.
And so the Cats are in a punting situation with Osbaldiston in the shadow of his own goalpost, standing on the 2-yard line. Smith and Smith back to receive. Steve Smith takes it on the run at the 50, loses his footing and falls at about the Hamilton 45-yard. And so a short field to start this Argo offensive series.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that's very important right now for Hamilton is knowing that you're going into the wind right now, that they have got to keep Toronto off the scoreboard as much as possible right now, because they have the win in the 4th quarter.
Well, again, a good sign in Hamilton with that huge attendance mark, a sellout here on Labor Day, and of course still to come another sellout at McMahon Stadium in Calgary for Game 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader, the Battle of Alberta. The Stamps and the Eskimos still to come. David Archer will start for Edmonton. Garcia will get the nod for Calgary. Here's Bell on the Hamilton 45. Time, close coverage. Reggie Love puts the lock on the pinball, and it's a short gain for Toronto.
And Hamilton's defensive backs are doing a really good job. Reggie Love has kind of got the assignment of covering whoever comes out of the backfield. On that particular play, he's got Pinball. Pinball just tries to slide out like he does against so many other teams, but Reggie's right there to limit the game.
Kerwin Bell prides himself on his composure, his ability to read defenses. He said that last year Doug Flutie liked predetermined pass routes. This year they're going with options. The receivers often have 3 options on each pass route, and he's got to be on the same page. Here's Bell rolling, wide open is Nigel Williams, and he's tripped up by Tiggle, but not before he gets to the Hamilton 26-27-yard line.
A nice job, as you said, and especially with the number of options that Kerwin Bell has with each receiver running the route. You see all 3 of the receivers, Mitchell and Mazzotti, run deep. Nigel Williams runs and comes back to the ball. They drop him off. You can see him coming back to the ball right now. Beautiful job of coming back to the football and turning it up and getting the yards.
First down, Argos. Ball on the Hamilton 27. Bell going deep down the sideline. The mix-up there as Mazzotti decided to come back to the ball, and there was nobody waiting for that errant pass. Eric Carter with coverage.
And you can start to see a little frustration on Kerwin Bell's face right there. He's not happy with the way things are going. I think after the 42-6 shellacking they gave Hamilton, he was expecting a little bit more success. But I think you've got to give credit to the defensive backs in Hamilton, especially the corners, doing an excellent job on the receivers.
Joe Montford has been giving Matthews offense trouble because he often keeps only 5 men in the block, and that means that Joe Montford knows he's only got to beat that tackle. And when you've got a quarterback who's not very mobile, you can come inside, you can come outside, you can give the tackle fits. Here's Montford. Bell rolling left. Time across the middle. Williams has got it.
Nice job by Kerwin Bell. Nice job by Williams finding the opening, sitting in the spot behind the linebacker in front of the safety. Just a great job of pitch and catch right there and knowing where the receiver is going to be. You see Kerwin Bell is going to his left. He's rolling. He's looking for him all the way. He checks him off. You see him right there. He's over the linebacker and right in front of Steinhauer, Orlando Steinhauer, number 22.
Nigel Williams, the Hamilton Hurricanes junior product, here having a field day in the second half on this Hamilton secondary. First down Argos, ball now at the Hamilton 13. Here comes Montford. Sack!
Well, you knew that was going to happen. He knows Morgan. You got to remember now, Morgan was in Hamilton's training camp last year, and Montford had plenty of opportunity to do one-on-one pass rush against him. You can see him coming right now. Kerwin does not even see him. It's from the blind side. Bam!
Did he get a jump on Morgan? Morgan was barely out of his stance when Montford was in the backfield.
Well, that's 2 for Montford today.
That makes 13 for Montford on the season, the league leader. And look at this. The Argos with great protection last year with 11 sacks at this time now 31. But of course Doug Flutie's mobility a factor there. Here's Bell with time across the middle. Walters is all over Pinball Clemens, but there's no call.
Oh, they got away with one right there. There was definitely interference back there. You don't see Pinball get very excited, but he was excited on that play. He went right to the referee, and you're right, Mark. He was molested on that one.
Kyle Walters was all over Mike Pinball Clemens, draped all over his back, knocked him before the ball got there, but there's no call.
You can see him right here in the bottom of the screen. He's right there. He hits him, doesn't allow him a chance to catch the ball. It's okay if both of you have the opportunity, but you can't negate his opportunity to catch the football.
And you're right, Pinball, one of the great sportsmen, does not usually make a case to the officials, but that time he had a point. Field goal attempt for Bigos from the 28. It's up and good. And so Eric Bigos gets his second field goal in 5 attempts to close the margin. It's 13-7 Hamilton.
But the biggest thing...
Four?
Yes! Call 1-888-SPEEDY-8 for a Speedy near you.
Hey, here's big news. Know how you love the great flavor of extra sugar-free gum? Now the flavor lasts longer than ever. so you can enjoy even more of life's little extras, like extra mileage, extra innings, even extra credit. And the flavor will last right through. In fact, Extra's flavor now lasts so long, it may even attract some extra attention. So take any extra steps you need to try new Extra. Why? Now the flavor lasts longer than ever. The taste never quits.
All the year long, I wait for this moment. When the time is right, the season festive. When we take in the colors and share the harvest. When we taste and toast the fruits of the land.
Santé! And here's to fall and more to discover.
Those are the 500 end zone seats. They sold out in 19 minutes for $15 a crack. In fact, some fans bought seats right there behind that big pine tree. Hasn't been cut down yet, although some of the fans, Bluto, have spilled right down to the fence to get a better look at this one. But talk about being a diehard fan. You buy a ticket behind a tree.
If I bought a ticket, I'd be taking that tree home for Christmas. Early present.
Danny Mac offering some stability at the quarterback position, something that was not here last year.
Last year they had 5 quarterbacks, and you know, Anthony Cavillo, who's having a great season as it is, 279 throws, but look at this year, 319 by 1 quarterback.
And some stability, some consistency at the leadership position, and that's why the Cats are 7-2. Here's McManus. It's complete to the far side. Shaw has the ball. And the tackle by Wiltshire.
And talking to Cody Ledbetter before the game, the third-string quarterback, he said, you know what the nicest surprise was getting this Trevor Shaw kid out of BC. He says, not only did he pick it up within 3 or 4 days of practice, but he says he's got great hands and great concentration.
6'3", 215. Looks like he's cut from the same mold as Mike Moriali at 6'3", 210. So 2 big targets at the slot back position for the Cats, who are of course going without running back Ronald Williams, who tore his quadricep muscle in the first half. Archie Amerson, the lone running back in the offense, and he's quickly brought down by Todrick McIntosh for a short gain.
Trying to run a little counter play here, change it up a little bit. They've been throwing the ball so much. But backside, Todrick McIntosh reads it, just follows it down the line of scrimmage and makes the play.
We talk about stability. Here's another improvement that the Tiger Cats have made this year. They're averaging 1 touchdown more per game on offense, and on defense, their points against have been cut from 30.5 to 17, virtually cut in half. And right now they've held the Argos to just 7 late in the third quarter. Shotgun, and there's a flag on the play. Bonner may have jumped the gun there to be offside.
Yeah, Bonner watched Trevor Shaw release. He was just moving around, jumped the gun, tried to get in his face.
Offside. Toronto number 10. Second down repeated.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Bridgestone Blizzak. Now available in 2 tread patterns, Winter Biter and Ice Gripper. Blizzak, the winter tire that sticks to ice.
Big break for the Tiger Cats. The 5-yard penalty makes it second and about 3.5 at center field for Danny Mac and the Cats. Quick shot over the middle. Archie Amerson has it. Wiltshire with the tackle. The 4th leading tackler in the CFL brings down the diminutive running back, but not before he gets another first down.
And smart again. They're sending receivers deep, running somebody across. They're just running cross route. They got Archie Amerson coming there. He's got to be covered by Kelly Wiltshire. A nice throw. Let's give Danny credit. He's been taking some heat for the last couple weeks, not throwing on the money. He threw this one on the money.
McManus now on the move. First down, Hamilton at the Toronto 43-yard line. Going into the wind here in the third quarter. The Cats will have the wind at their backs in the 4th. McManus back in the shotgun, grabs a high snap over the middle of Darren Flutie. He's got it. Breaks 1 tackle and brought down inside the 35 of Toronto and close to another first down.
And I think Lester Smith, again, the man trying to make the tackle, jammed his head or his shoulder, and he's down again. He's slow to get up. And watch the pass rush right here. Wiltshire coming off the corner. Danny Mac gets it away quickly. Darren Flutie slanting across the middle. There you see Lester Smith with the tackling attempt. I think he jammed his neck again.
Maurice Miller coming off the defensive line to make the tackle on Darren Flutie. as Lester Smith gets some attention. 2 shots to his head in this game, to the neck area.
Yeah, and that's something you don't like to see, especially, the first one you maybe dazed or something, but whenever you jam it, it doesn't take much to re-injure it right now, and they're going to have to take a look at us.
While they attend to Lester Smith, we'll take another look at this completion by McManus. He's now 21 of 30 for 199 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
But he's spreading the ball around nice, and that's what I like. He's going to Flutie, he's going to Morreale, he's going to Griggs, he's going to Amerson. He's hitting all receivers in different parts of the field, and you can feel that he really is getting into a rhythm right now.
Now get a 28-point fall checkup, plus oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a free jug of washer fluid, all for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
Lester Smith making his way to the Argo bench, his 4 interceptions, the best among the Argo secondary this year. It looks like he's clenching his right fist, and that's often an indication of a burner or a pinched nerve.
Well, most definitely, and that's one thing you don't like to see. And they're going to put some ice on it right now, take a look at it, and they're really going to have to evaluate whether they can afford to put him in and risk further injury and maybe have him miss some games down the road.
We're attempting to get a ruling on the fact that Danny Mac has no touchdown passes. You remember Bobby Olive got the big TD, but that was on a pass to Morreale and then a pitch out to Bobby Olive. And so McManus has yet to be credited with that as a touchdown pass. This time he goes to Bobby Olive, and Olive is quickly lassoed by the rookie Abraham for a short gain of 4.
Well, I think what happens on that situation, Mark, going back to the touchdown with Olive, is that he's credited with the yardage. He gets the yardage, but he doesn't get credit with the catch because it wasn't his catch, it was Morreale's. So all they do is, if he had 10 catches for 100 yards, they would just say now he has 10 catches for 120 yards.
Doesn't matter how you get there, they got there. They've got the only touchdown of this football game and a 13-7 lead. Hamilton threatening now as they move deep into Argo territory. There's a bad snap over McManus's head. He's got the ball, gets rid of it, and a completion. Oh, just out of the hands of Flutie, but it was well shy of first down territory. Heads up play by Danny McManus, and there's a threatening scoring drive nullified by a snapper's mistake. 13-7. The Ticats lead the Argonauts after 3 quarters of play in this gritty Labor Day Classic at Neverwin.
If you've got the Bell First Rate Savings Plan, you can talk all you want across Canada for just 10 cents a minute evenings and weekends. Up to a maximum of $20 a month. You never pay more. Of course, if you talk less than $20 worth, you pay less. And that's part of Bell's promise to be competitively priced. Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter.
Football's here. So bet on ProLine.
T-Sleeve Sports!
One turn for the worse. Split-second reaction. 180 degrees from nowhere. 4 days overdue. And 3 months recovery equals 1 score to be settled. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
At Wendy's, order a quarter-pound single combo and you get a hot and juicy hamburger made fresh right when you order it. A medium soft drink and a big order of Biggie fries, all for just $3.99 every day.
At Wendy's, you don't pay more, you just get more.
Back in Hamilton, this was the scene just moments ago as Ticats center Carl Coulter was clearly agitated after making that bad snap over the head of Danny McManus. Now, we've talked about earlier in the broadcast, there he is throwing his helmet, that Coulter sweats profusely and that McManus has actually had trouble with sweaty balls trying to hold on to them when he gets the snap from the center. There you see the snap going over Danny Mac's head. Maybe he had too much sweat on his hands and couldn't get the snap off properly.
Well, if that was the case, what you'd like to do is, or see Carl Coulter do, is put a couple of the wristbands on to catch that sweat from coming off his arm. Right now, I saw he had his hands, you can see, he had his hands in a bag. Now, I don't know if that's a resin bag just to kind of keep him sticky, just so he doesn't slip off the ball. but he's putting new pro wrap on. That's pro wrap right there.
Well, you can see everybody sweats in a pro football game, but he really sweats, and it's been a problem for both he and quarterback Danny McManus. There's Osbaldiston from the 33. He's been simply perfect in this game. Another one, 3 in a row for the Oz. And the Cats extend their lead, 16-7. Carl Coulter still glum over that high snap, which snuffed out a promising Cat scoring drive. Twice they've been inside the 35-yard line and failed to come away with touchdowns on the Argos. The crowd here, though, loving this grudge match.
It's a great game. We talked about it. Anytime you can bring the other team who has embarrassed you back to your park, your turf, as it were, and you can lay it on them, that's what you want. This is your dream, especially on a big day like this on Labor Day.
I was on the internet the other day looking at the various home pages for the Cats and the Argos, and you wouldn't believe how many fans have written in and contacted these websites and made some pretty tough statements about their feelings. And there again, the Grim Reaper signaling the end for the Argos. First down for Kerwin Bell. Argos scrimmaging from their own 35. Bell has had time in this game. A low pass is complete to Paul Masadi, just shy of the first down marker. Third quarter stats, and you see the passing yardage starting to come back for Danny McManus. 204 rushing, though, still a factor, a non-factor in this football game, and 2 turnovers to the 1.
Big stat right there is the first downs, though, Mark. I mean, they have really moved the ball now and started to take the time of the clock.
Second down, they're about a foot as Kerwin Bell leaves the game and Jay Barker comes back in. And doing that on numerous occasions this season. Short yardage, the rookie, the 6'4" Barker will make the play. Quarterback sneak, and he has ample yardage following the blocking of the big man, Willie Williams. Teagle with the tackle. First down, Argos across the 45-yard line.
Well, it would be a cardinal sin if you have a big guy at 6'4" like that following a couple 300-pounders and you don't get a 1 yard. It should be automatic.
Kerwin Bell has yet to really stretch this defense except on a couple of passes to Nigel Williams. But he still has the edge in passing yardage. McManus has now been credited with the touchdown pass, the pass to Morielli, and then the pitch out to Badiali. Nice touch on the ball. It's complete to Darryl Mitchell, but it's short of a first down by about 1.5 yards.
And you know what I like about what Hamilton's doing right now is they're giving a little bit, but they're not giving the big play. Last time they were burned repeatedly by big plays. They're playing smart, disciplined football, breaking on the ball and making the play after the ball is caught.
Monfort getting ready to call the Hamilton defense as Jay Barker comes back in at quarterback. They continue to shuttle in these short yardage situations. The second and short situation seeing Barker on this drive. A little more than 1 yard to go. Barker sends 3 receivers right. Hands off to the pinball. He's got the first down and a couple more. Well, what a difference a couple of weeks ago. This was the scene 2 weeks ago as Kerwin Bell aired the ball out. 3 huge passes to Nigel Williams for 152 yards. There's another beauty. Williams had a field day against the Hamilton secondary. And Kerwin Bell was over 300 yards again, that time to Darryl Mitchell in a 42-6 blowout. But in this game, Kerwin Bell has yet to throw a touchdown pass. The Argos yet to score a major with only 7 points. The handoff to pinball. The merry-go-round, he gets out of that situation. Finally grabbed by about 6 Cat defenders. Frank West was the first to make contact, but the pinball made something out of a tough situation.
Well, you know, he's a gamer. He's a player. That's why this guy's done everything he's done in this league. He keeps those legs going. He gets contacted, as they say, by Frank West, turns, spins, does everything he possibly can to keep going north and south and try and get his team in better field position.
Second down and 7. Second and long for Kerwin Bell. First time on this drive they've faced a second and long situation. Bell flushed from the pocket, sack! It's Montfort again. His third sack of the game.
Well, the biggest thing they're doing right now they're playing with Toronto's offensive line. The offensive line is looking at each other. They're talking to each other. They got some questions. They're running stunts now. That's his third sack of the day by Montfort. But what he does, if you can see what, he'll come across and he'll come around, and you'll see him coming around in your screen right now. There he comes. There's Gonzalo. There's Montfort coming around from the outside. Makes a great job, picks the offensive lineman and finds an opening. You can see him at the bottom of your screen here, running a stunt, coming around to the opening. Doesn't get picked up by Jude St. John.
There's an example. We talked about Montfort going inside and out. That time he went way inside, faked outside on Willie Williams, then moved 3 positions over and came right through the center spot. Bobby Olive takes the ball on the run. The punt from Prefontaine and doesn't get much on the run back. Sent out of bounds right into the Argo bench where there's more pushing and shoving, and Joe Montfort savors his third sack of this football game in Hamilton.
Since we opened our Honda plant here, we've been keeping a lot of Canadian companies and the local mayor kind of busy. There were our first international exports, our 1 millionth Canadian-built Honda, and those international awards for quality. And now that we're proudly making Canada home to our new North American minivan plant, we expect the mayor will soon be running again.
One turn for the worse. Split-second reaction. 180 degrees from nowhere. 4 days overdue. And 3 months recovery equals 1 score to be settled. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
On the next Life and Times, the story of cartoonist Lynn Johnson, creator of For Better or For Worse.
You have to be the characters, you have to float over them, you have to hear their conversation.
The Life and Times of Lynn Johnson, Wednesday night at 8.
Cardiac arrest at 30,000 feet.
If you have a defibrillator,
analyzing.
The sooner you apply the shock, the better the chance of survival.
He's got a pulse.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Tuesday at 8 on Marketplace.
Joe Montfort is a vocal leader of this Hamilton defense, but he also backs it up by example. Chris?
Well, I tell you, one of the things he does is they'll rush perfectly. You see him right down here in the bottom of your screen. As we roll it now, you're going to see he's going to take 1 step up to freeze the tackle. Willie Williams comes around to the outside. Jude St. John, 66, can't pick him up. Great tackle, great play, and that's how you mess up an offensive line and get some pressure on a quarterback.
Right through the center of that Argo offensive line, following his own blocking, if it were. And now he's got 14, opening a lead atop the sack count in the CFL. First down, Tiger Cats deep in their own zone just across the 20. McManus far side, nearly picked off by Abraham, who got a jump on that one.
Well, that is just, he threw the ball. I think he expected Darren Flutie to come back to that football. Darren kind of broke it, and Darren's kind of hitting himself on the chest saying, my bag. He broke it back, and Darren just kept going straight. And you're right. Abraham should have took that back in the end zone.
Quarterbacks and receivers, often when there are multiple routes to be run, reading a defense, have to be on the same page. There has to be a trust there. Obviously, McManus and Flutie misreading that situation. Second down and 10. Ball at the Hamilton 22-yard line. Screen pass to Archie Amerson. He's got lots of room. Amerson cuts left, follows some blocking. Now down the far sideline and finally pushed out of bounds by Maurice Miller.
Well, I'll tell you what, not only do you want to use your offensive line as blockers, but if you can use the referee, use the referee. That's what Archie Amerson did on this play. Got a nice screen pass, starts taking off, and uses it right here. You can see the referee right there.
Took out O'Shea.
Picks up O'Shea. Hey, you got to have a little luck sometimes. Maybe, we got to find out the birthplace of that referee.
Jermaine Haley and Maurice Miller finally chasing Amerson out of touch, coming all the way from the defensive line position on that play. First down, Tiger Cats at their own 50. Some pressure. McManus out of the pocket, and he's sacked. Jermaine Haley, who was in on the last play from Butte College, drags McManus down for a loss of 5 yards.
Well, you haven't seen that happen very often. I tell you what, they're trying to run a cross pattern right now. They do a good job of covering it. Danny tries to roll out to the left to try and get the ball open. Gets tracked down by Jermaine Haley, and that's the 9th sack this offensive line has only given up this year. See him right now with a nice shoestring tackle.
9 sacks, amazing when you consider McManus is not mobile. Can't escape the rush. So his offensive line has been doing a stalwart job. 2nd and 15. McManus going deep down the far sideline. Morreale tries to bring it in with one hand, but it's too high, and so it's a punting situation for the Tiger Cats.
And one of the things that I'm noticing right now is that the Toronto defensive line is starting to get some pressure. We talked about the good job, the actual great job that Hamilton offensive line has been doing all day. In the last couple series, they're starting to get to Danny, and he's starting to force the throws again.
McManus heading to the sidelines. Drive killed by his errant pass. Osbaldiston will stop at his own 30, getting set to punt. Mike O'Shea just finished having words with the official that blocked him on that Archie Amerson run. Not much you can do about it now. Osbaldiston with the win. A stiff win from left to right. A knuckleball. Driving Steve Smith back. He drops the ball. It's loose and recovered by the Cats. Jeff Cummins has the ball for Hamilton.
Well, who'd have thunk it there, big man?
Steve Smith has been jittery all game.
Well, he fumbled the first one in the first quarter. It went off his chest. The same thing happened again. We know the wind can play tricks with the ball. It'll get a dry spell and drop suddenly. But that one got away from him and it bounced away from where he couldn't recover in time to recover it like he did in the first quarter. And Jeff Cummings, as you said, Johnny on the spot, giving Hamilton excellent field position.
Hit the left hand of Smith and got away 5 yards worth, and there was Jeff Cummins. Great pursuit on the cover team for the Cats. A big man at 6'6", 270, hustling down to get that one. Jeff Cummins puts the Cats in good field position. First down at the Argo 22. McManus across the middle. Dangerous there. Nearly picked off. Lester Smith, who's twice left this football game with head injury problems, is back.
And one of the reasons Lester Smith leads the Argonauts in interceptions is that he is so intelligent. He sees Danny, he reads Danny where Danny wants to throw the ball. He knows that Danny's trying to get it to Flutie coming across the middle and cuts on it. You can see him just come in there and get his hand on it. That is a great job coming from the free safety spot to prevent a touchdown.
Just nicked that pass from McManus to prevent what looked like a sure touchdown pass. McManus empties the Hamilton backfield. Straight back for Bobby Olive. He's got it. There's a flag on the play. Olive struggles to get to the first down marker, but is brought down about 2 yards short on the coverage from Fakir Brown. The call will go against the Argonauts.
Well, just when you think the momentum is starting to switch back to Toronto, they get a break, and now the momentum is definitely in Hamilton's backyard right now.
7:32 to play in this football game. The Cats threatening to put a strong hold on it.
Offside, Toronto, number 54. Second down repeated.
Well, Jeremy O'Day, who is a backup guard on offense, is called for being offside on that play. Perhaps a mix-up by the official. Perhaps he was thinking of 94 Todrick McIntosh.
I'm sure he was.
Second down and 5. A break for the Cats. The ball now spotted at about the 16-yard line. McManus, quick shot. Flutie has it, breaks a tackle, tries to get across the 10. Lester Smith again. He's been a workhorse in that secondary. The Cats fans, though, sensing the goal line. It's a first down. First down, Cats. Just shy of the Argo 10. And this football game has come to the crossroads.
This is a big play. Toronto cannot afford to give a big play up to Hamilton right now with only 6:40 left in the game.
Flutie was 3-4 yards short of that marker, but with the effort, got the first down for Hamilton. Again, McManus empties the backfield. Throws for Flutie. He's got it at the 5 and is hit hard. Donald Smith, who can put a lick on you, brings Flutie down for a 5-yard gain.
Well, Mark, you mentioned earlier about how the fact that Hamilton may not have the quickest receivers, but they're so intelligent, and another fact that they catch the ball in traffic. That's what you're seeing right now. Flutie coming back and holding on to the ball.
Darren Flutie, all 175 pounds, can take a licking and keeps on ticking. Second down and 5. The first down marker is just shy of the goal line. Cats can get a first down without going in. McManus pumps once. He's got coverage. Touchdown! Hamilton! Andrew Grigg has the ball.
Well, they're marking him at the 1-yard line. That would be interesting to look again. I thought
he was in and out of the end zone.
I thought the ball had crossed the plane, and that's the only thing you have to have.
Now the fans are irate.
But there is a situation where if he's bobbling the ball as he crosses, it'll be counted as when he has full control of the football. And that was when he was on the 1-yard line.
Can't believe it. The look on his face says it all. Here's the play again.
You can see it right now. Danny does a great job of getting away from the sack by Haley.
Hard to see there whether he was in. Looked like he had 1 foot over the line, but of course the ball has to break the plane.
You can see the ball does break the plane right there.
That's a touchdown.
That should be a touchdown. But he does not have control, and that's what the referee is looking at.
And so it's a third down situation with the ball on the 1-yard line, and Lancaster is fuming again.
Well, he is fuming, and if you look at that play when we saw it last time, as he got hit, the ball was still
Ronnie's losing it. Lancaster is upset.
Well, if you don't think the coaches get intense in this game, you've got another thing coming.
Third down on the 1. The give to Amerson. He's up and over. Remember, the first down marker is shy of the goal line.
Well, he should have got the first down. We'll see where they mark the ball. This is going to be crucial. Whenever you leave your feet as a running back, a lot of times they won't give you forward progress. They'll give it to you where you get knocked back.
This may be a first down, even though it wasn't a touchdown. And here come the sticks. Another look along the goal line.
Well, you take a look here. They get up. 94 comes in, makes the play right there. Where the ball hit, that's where it should be. Not where he got knocked back, and they have given him a first down.
The Cats have got a first down. And so that placement of the first down marker, a foot from the goal line, is crucial for the Cats.
Take a look at Mike O'Shea. He sees it right now. He knows where the ball's going. He knows where Amerson's going. He gets in there and knocks him back. But unfortunately, the ball gets down close enough where they can mark it for a first down. That's what they got.
They'll bring the ball back out to the 1 and spot it. First and goal, Ticats at the Toronto 1. The give to Amerson. Bounces. Bonner's got him. Keeps going, and the Argos deny the goal line. Lancaster is still fuming.
Just a great job by the right side of the defensive line. Haley and McIntosh just come back in here. Watch O'Shea reading, skating down the line, as it were. Filling any possible hole. Comes in there, wraps him up right there. Bonner initially stopped him.
This is where the Ticats really miss Ronald Williams. 210-pound running back out with a leg injury. All they've got is 170-pound Archie Amerson against all of these big hogs. Sneak for McManus. Touchdown. Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And Mark, I was just going to make that point. You may not have big Ronald Williams in there, all 210 pounds of him, but Danny Mack's no slouch. Donnie Mack's got 200 pounds on his frame. You got a big offensive line in there. Watch the takeoff. Watch the takeoff. And he just pushes his way in there. Great surge by the offensive line. It's a battle of who can get under who. And on that particular play, the Hamilton Tiger Cat offensive line got underneath the Toronto defensive line.
The Cats bulldoze the Argos, and Lancaster allows himself to savor and enjoy that one after being upset at that call on Andrew Grigg. Osbaldison with the convert. It's good. The Ticats open a 23-7 lead on the Argonauts with 3:55 to go in this football game. The Labor Day Classic is all Hamilton in the late stages.
What do you get when you combine smart and simple? No. It's the Bell First Rate Savings Plan. Still only 10 cents a minute, evenings and weekends, anywhere in Canada. And now up to a maximum of $20 a month. Now here's a plan that's smart and simple. Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter.
Cheers for our 3 years in my career's gonna thrive. Crowds sway when the bands play and your weekday comes alive. Best shot, the new time slot, it's a prime spot right at 5. Stay tuned, cause it's season 3.
Jono Vision returns September 29th on CBC.
Song, music, and dance. Passed down from one generation to the next.
It's just such a powerful force that it crosses all boundaries.
Celtic culture and tradition with Mary Jane Lamond, Mary Black, Ashley McIsaac, Lorena McKenna, Natalie McMaster, and many more. Celtic Tides, a 1-hour music special co-hosted by Heather Raylene and Cookie Rankin. September 23rd on CBC.
Tiger Cats with a firm grip on the Argonauts, leading 23-7 with 3:55 to play in this Labor Day Classic. And one more look at the surge of that O-line.
Take a look at this. This is what you want to see when you start rolling it right now. Watch the hands. Look how low they are. They're dragging on the turf. You're crabbing. That's how you get under the defensive lineman. That's the way to get your quarterback into the end zone.
Danny McManus with his second touchdown of the season on the sneak. And a 23-7 lead. Big wind helping that kickoff from Osbaldiston, taken by Steve Smith on his goal line. He's got some speed and is dropped by Dan Pranick at the 25-yard line. The Argos have the ball when we come back to Iberwin.
Each day the cartoonist feels the rush of taming the empty page with a new idea, rivaled only by the adrenaline surge of the almighty deadline. Why trust lunatic couriers when you can drive it yourself? Some say the pen is mightier than the sword, but if you miss your deadline, bring the sword.
The 2.2-liter engine of the Chevrolet Cavalier is mightier than the pen, sword, or deadline.
One turn for the worse. Split-second reaction. 180 degrees from nowhere. 4 days overdue. And 3 months recovery equals 1 score to be settled. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
There's so much happening in Toronto now, but at night, it's a totally different kind of beauty. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, anything that you could possibly want, you can find it here. You have clubs, jazz lounges. I saw the ballet going on, the theater going on. Great bands all the time. Everything is on. It's lit up, like lit right up. Hold on. I love the city. I love Toronto.
Welcome back to Iberwin as we look at the Wall of Fame here in Hamilton, featuring some of the all-time greats and certainly a man who is destined to the CFL Hall in the near future. Joining us now here in the booth, Doug Flutie of the Buffalo Bills, just off a stellar performance in relief yesterday in San Diego with 2 touchdown passes. Unfortunately, it comes just short, 16-14 to San Diego.
It was a lot of fun. It was a great atmosphere to play football in. I felt comfortable, and we had the game within hand, but let it slip away.
Doug, you were the star of this game 1 year ago in a 46-3 rout of the Cats. What do you think so far?
Well, it was Daryl Mitchell making a nice grab. You know, the Argos have a lot of weapons, and they put some numbers on the board the first time these two teams played, but they've struggled. Hamilton defense has really played well.
How How much has your offense, your old offense, changed now with a classic drop-back passer in Kerwin Bell?
Well, it's a lot of the same sets, a lot of the same type of ideas, but John Jenkins likes an upfield passing game. He likes to go up the field a little more, and he's instilled that with Kerwin Bell.
Bell yet to stretch this Ticat defense. Another bad snap. He falls on it, and a big loss for the Argonauts. Mike Philbrick in on the tackle. Chad Folks shotgun snap into the feet of Bell.
They've also done a lot more with Daryl Mitchell and trying to get him the ball in different ways and running the shovel passes with him, the screens with him, and things of that nature.
Well, it looks like Mitchell's getting Pinball's passes and Pinball's getting Drummond's handoffs, and a changing complexion to this Argo offense, and they need some might here, down 23-7 to Hamilton.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way some of the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to take better care of themselves. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to go for a swim. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
Football's here, so bet on Proline.
T-Sleep Sports!
One turn for the worse. Split-second reaction. 180 degrees from nowhere. 4 days overdue. And 3-month recovery equals 1 score to be settled. For all you do, this bud's for you.
Pills, pumps, and potions.
No man needs to live with impotence.
Couldn't get it up.
Things are now looking up for Bob, but is every man a candidate for a cure?
We can make a penis hard. Whether or not we can improve their sex life is another issue.
Hope Springs Eternal, Tuesday on the National.
Welcome back to Neverwin Stadium. 2:59 to go. The Cats leading the Argos 23-7. A reminder that coming up right after this game, it's part 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader, the Battle of Alberta, the Eskimos and the Calgary Stampeders. Second and long. Argos. Bell with time in the pocket. Is flushed and sacked from behind. Montfort puts a lick on Bell and he fumbles the ball. Joe Montfort's 4th sack of the game.
Well, they won't give him the sack, they'll give him the fumble recovery, but I tell you what, he just persisted, and they finally came over, and he came from the backside all the way around, got the hit on Kerwin, caused the fumble, and recovered it himself.
Kerwin was doing what he felt he had to do. He had to stay back and try to go upfield with the ball, give himself an opportunity to get the first down. So he stayed behind the line of scrimmage, looking and held on to him too long.
And that's where a quarterback has to have that 6th sense. Not much you can do about that.
No, he needs that eye in the back of his head is what he needs there.
Joe Montfort, a wrecking crew for the Tiger Cats in this one. And with 2:45 to go, the Cats have the ball back. First down at the Hamilton 45. The handoff to Archie Amerson, and there's nowhere to go. Doug, before you head back down to the stands, I know you want to see your brother Darren after the game. What about next week? What's the status of Rob Johnson?
Rob should be fine. He had a slight concussion. He got drilled and had 14 stitches in his chin. He looked pretty good last night. Little headache, but he should be fine this week.
Well, Doug, good luck with the Bills. We miss you here.
I appreciate it. Thanks
for coming up.
I miss you guys.
Doug.
Thanks.
Second down for the Tiger Cats, second and long situation, 9 yards to go. The ball just across the Toronto 45. Fake handoff to Amerson. The screen pass, and it's all botched up. And you can thank Jermaine Haley on the Argo defense for that one.
Well, they got, the object of any kind of screen pass is to hit the defensive lineman for a little bit, then release them. But the cardinal sin is never release them too soon because it disrupts the screen, and that's what happened. As you said, Jermaine Haley got in there a little too early, disrupted it, threw it before he had to. They're going to get the ball back. This is what you want to do if you're Toronto.
Kerwin Bell is tough. There goes Danny Mack after a foiled series, but Kerwin Bell has taken shots like that before and come back even stronger.
Well, I think if you look at knowing Donnie Matthews' teams, there's still 2 minutes, but in the CFL, you can still put points on the board, and I'm sure he's telling them we still have time.
Paulus Balderson to punt for the Tiger Cats. Good news out of Calgary. That game is blacked out, but CBC Television will broadcast the Battle of Alberta in its entirety following the late local news, so check your local listings. Steve Smith handles this one, a spiraling shot in his end zone, and driven out of bounds by Kyle Walters, shy of the 10-yard line, and there's a flag on the play.
Well, this will be an interesting play because if it's against Hamilton, it's going to give Toronto better field position. But they're calling rough play on Toronto.
So more bad blood along the sideline.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Toronto number 97, first down.
And something you're not used to seeing, Mark, a little bit of lack of discipline for a Donnie Matthews football team in the end.
Yes. Maurice Miller with the penalty.
Now get a 28-point fall checkup, plus oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a free jug of washer fluid, all for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
On their own 4-yard line, the Argos are in tough. Bell in his end zone. Screen pass to Pinball. That was dangerously close to being picked off by Montford. Joe Montford having a red-letter day in Hamilton.
Well, they may be calling it the Montford Classic after this. Watch this. He beats right around the corner, takes him for sack number 1. Here's number 2. He's just going to keep working, runs a stunt, gets sack number 2. And, of course, watch this one. Here he comes around the corner, and boom! Welcome to Hamilton, Mr. Bell.
The Tie-Cat decal, the imprint left on the back of Bell's helmet. Second down, Bell in his own end zone, rolling right. He's got time, and he throws the ball out of bounds. And Montford has a few words.
And the thing you got to give credit where they're only rushing 3 guys in that. You got 5 guys blocking 3. Now we know that for the majority of the game, Toronto offensive line has given Kerwin Bell some good protection. But when you're rushing 3 players, you should not be near the quarterback. And they'll be hearing about that in film session tomorrow.
Pigskin Pete rallying the Cat fans with another rendition of Oski Wee Wee, and the Cats are eating the Argos raw. Once again, the good news from the West. CBC Television will rebroadcast the Battle of Alberta, which is blacked out at 12:30 local time in Alberta only. Noel Prefontaine back 10 yards deep in his end zone to punt for the Argos. There's a whistle. Prefontaine fakes the run, then hoofs it on the run, and is taken by Steinauer at the 40. He gets about 6 across the 35, but there was a whistle during the course of that play, and that threw some players.
Well, yeah, especially when it's during the middle of the play. It's almost like the play has started. How do you stop? And I know it's almost like in a hockey game when you hear whistles, the players won't stop because of that, because they think it's if somebody in the stands blowing a whistle.
Well, it looked like Prefontaine hesitated for a minute when the whistle came, then finally got the ball off just barely.
He's been talking to the referee about that, and I think he was a little disturbed that he got hit, but when you take off with the ball or look like you're going to run with the ball, you got to be able to handle what comes with it. That means you might have some contact.
Eric Carter leading the cheering section on the north side here at Neverwin. He set the tone early with a couple of tough shots, one of them perhaps a little late on Nigel Williams. The Cats now grinding their way up through the Argo defense, and there's some more pushing and shoving, some eye gouging and face mask grabbing.
Well, you got Val St. Germain, getting it into it with Todd McIntosh right now. You know what? There's a lot of pride in line right now. When you build up this much emotion to play in a 60-minute football game, at the end, if you think you're out of it, you're going to start getting some anger.
Sellout here at Neverwin Stadium, and of course a sellout of 38,000 awaiting the Battle of Alberta. The Eskimos and Stampeders in first place, tied at 6-3 going into this one. They give up the middle, and a big gain on the play by Jarrett Smith, the rookie from the University of Waterloo. First down.
Well, now the referees are going to try and take control of this game before it gets out of hand. On that play, Val St. Germain again after the play started blocking. It wasn't very serious, but he hit Mike O'Shea, and the referee was, of course, standing right there through the flag. We're going to try and curtail this type of thing right now and let it finish on a good note.
Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 51. After the play, it's first down.
Well, Carl Coulter with an attack of spontaneous combustion and the penalty. And that will push Hamilton back with 1:20 to go in the football game. Ball now at the Toronto 33-yard line.
You can see on that play that it was Carl Coulter, not Velser and Tremaine, and maybe Michael Shea made a sweat joke. I'm not sure, but obviously Carl did not take kindly to it.
So the first down that was achieved by Smith is wiped out. He gets the ball again and is mauled by McIntosh. Short game.
This is probably the favorite time of the game if you're on Hamilton's bench. You know you're up by 15 points. You're just sitting there. You're enjoying the game now. You want this last 1 minute and 15 to last forever, even though you want it to end, so you can rub it in their face right now.
Time ticking on the clock. 1:06 and counting. McManus using all of the time he gets, the 20 seconds between plays. Eye backfield. The give again. Around the left side. Jarrett Smith. And he's got a first down, and he hacks a wallop.
This is a new horse. Where did they find this guy? They must have brought him out of the stables.
Rookie out of the University of Waterloo, a CIEU product, who came into this game with 10 carries for 58 yards.
Well, you like the way this kid runs the ball. I don't care if it's the end of the game and maybe the Toronto defense is not as fired up. But I tell you what, he puts his head down, turns the corner, and runs over people. Got to appreciate that in a running back.
Well, a good find for the Tiger Cats in Jarrett Smith. 5'11", 210 yards, and there is the tail of the tape. For the Tiger Cats, 288 total yards. Danny McManus with 247, back on track. The give again to Smith. Trudges through the middle of that Argo defense, using up valuable time with 46 seconds to go, and another flare up and more flags.
Well, this is a strange one because you got a defensive back knocking over an offensive lineman over the pile. They threw the flag on Toronto, but you know, right now it's a frustrating point right now. Toronto's offensive line, or Hamilton, excuse me, is coming off the ball and just dictating the pace to Toronto, rubbing, as they say, the salt into the wounds, trying to knock them back.
Toronto number 10.
So Antonius Bonner is called for unnecessary roughness, and that moves the ball all the way to the Toronto 6. This is rubbing salt in the wounds as we take a look at sold-out McMahon Stadium in Calgary. The Battle of Alberta just moments away, folks. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader. 46 seconds to go. The Cats with a comfortable lead. They've got the game in hand. Will they rub the ball into the end zone and rub the Argos' nose in it? Here's Smith. He's yet to score a touchdown in the CFL. He gets to about the 3-yard line.
Well, you know what? I think they do want to score another touchdown. I don't think it's a question of down the clock and go out with a win. It's revenge time. Now it comes down to personal one-on-one battles. Everybody on that offensive line wants to bury somebody on that defense and rub it in and get that running back. If they get Jarrett Smith a touchdown, so be it.
Montford and Vaughn both had a hand in this great defensive performance by the Cats. Montford, of course, with 4 sacks. 2nd down and 3. 2nd and goal. Hamilton, the give to Jarrett Reed. Fake! What a fake! Bootleg by McManus. Oh! He had Andrew Grigg wide open and they couldn't complete the play. McManus could have run with it.
Well, I think he was thinking about running it, but the kind of guy he is he'll spread it around. He'll give it up rather than get it himself. Nice job. The fans are screaming. They'd like him to go for the touchdown. They want to rub it in Toronto's face too.
Ron Lancaster is a class act and won't do it as he sends his kicking team onto the field. Osbaldiston will attempt a field goal. As Kerwin Bell and the rest of the Argos watch on disconsolate at their performance here today. Just into the hands and out of Andrew Grigg. They looked at each other for an eternity, it seemed.
It may seem like an eternity now.
10-yard field goal from Osbaldiston is good. He has not missed one here today. Danny McManus is back on his game. 26-7, the Hamilton lead with 15 seconds to go in the game.
Well, we talked about the defenses and how they'd be so important. And boy, I tell you what, Hamilton came to play today. the defensive backs. We talked to Eric Carter yesterday, and he said Nigel Williams and the crew will not have big days against us. And hey, true to his word, you got to give credit to the Hamilton secondary. They played a fantastic game today.
And the player of the game for Hamilton, clearly, Joe Montford.
Without exception. I mean, 3.5 sacks and caused a fumble. He did his job.
There's another hero for the Cats. Paul Osbaldiston. Only 2 other players have played in this black and gold uniform longer. Garney Henley and Rocky DiPietro. More than 200 games of service for Paul Osbaldiston. More than 2,000 points for the Tiger Cats, and he was simply perfect today. Bell leaves the game. Jay Barker, the rookie and quarterback, as the Argos mop up. 10 seconds to go. The pinball looking for an opening and gets a couple.
Yeah, Toronto content just to run out the clock, try and hand it off to pinball, see if they get something.
You know how these people just love what's happened here today. Ticat fans, 18 busloads went to Toronto 2 weeks ago for that shellacking. And now more than 30,000 have witnessed the first victory in 7 games against the Argonauts for Hamilton. Here's pinball. What happened there? It's a game of rugby. Go! The Cats have the ball. That's Frank West. Pushed out of bounds as time runs out.
Well, we can't enter the penalty, but that was an illegal lateral. It was a forward pass, so they would have called it dead right there, and then it became a game of, as you say, rugby. Who can form the best scrum, and they try to take it in the end zone, and that, my friends, is the game.
The Tiger Cats break a streak of 7 consecutive losses to the Argonauts with a 26-7 victory over the Argos here on Labor Day, making up for a 46-3 loss to these Argos 1 year ago.
Well, you got to give credit where credit's due. We talked about it. It was a defensive battle first half. Second half, Danny McManus found the rhythm. We talked about that. He came out, 6 Packer receivers, did a great job, moved the ball, and they put some points on the board.
Sweet revenge for the Tiger Cats. They win part 1 of the Labor Day Classic. Now game 2 of our doubleheader, the Battle of Alberta. Let's go to Calgary.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to McMahon Stadium in Calgary. A sellout crowd of 37,000.